Well, welcome to the Agile Hive Cloud review for today. I think you already are aware of our usual process here. First things first, you can add this review appointment in case you are watching this video recording on YouTube. You can add the actual review meeting to your calendar from our webpage. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. We will post regular events there where you can join these review meetings and get a reminder as well. And also the recording that you are probably watching right now will be uploaded to our YouTube channel afterwards. And the first very important announcement here, the next review will be on April 4th, which is another Thursday, I hope. I hope we put the right date here. So yeah, we are very welcome to join us on April 4th for another review on Agile Hive Cloud. So let's dive right in. Some general updates. The Agile Hive Cloud, or the Agile Hive team in general, I think, has been on the road over the past few weeks. We've attended the RTE Summit in the US, organized by our partner Gladwell. And since I did not attend in person, maybe Cindy, you are at least on some of the photos. So maybe you can just give a 1 minute wrap up of the event. How did you like it? What did you take from there?
Yeah, I loved it so much because it was like 130 people. It was very intimate. I got to sit down at meals and breaks and connect with, a lot of people from, I don't want to name drop some companies, but they made it very energetic and fun, and the speakers were amazing. And sometimes if you're considering, should we invest in going to this event, it seems pretty small. I think the investment was definitely worth it for me because it's a smaller batch size and more intimate and easier to connect. So we had fun and great connections. That's my summary.
Perfect. And I think it was a bit like a Super Bowl football themed, and you had a 4-time Super Bowl champ over there. At least there were some pictures showing up in our internal chat timelines. So even beside the safe theory and all of the tooling, there was some good fun there, I think.
Well, and not just fun, if I could say. This guy was so inspiring. He had won 4 Super Bowls and had his rings, but then he was drafted into the Vietnam War, and he had a very serious injury to both of his legs and was told that he would be lucky if he walked again. And yet he persevered and played football again and ended up playing football professionally for a total of 23 years. So it was fun and inspiring.
Wow, I think that's all you can expect from an event like this. So RTE Summit took place in New York City. I think Gladwell is already planning for the next year. And yeah, if you want to stay tuned, probably follow Gladwell on LinkedIn. They're posting regular updates there. Then another event that we participated with Agile Hive was the Technovate 2024, organized by our partner Abano in Belgium, in Europe. And it was a bit of a larger event, I think around 300 people. Not all from the Atlassian ecosystem, not all in the SAFe community, but nonetheless, it was a pretty cool event and well organized, a very good atmosphere. A lot of partners have been there also. And yeah, we were able to make some good connections with Abano for one, but also we met some interesting new people. And yeah, it was a really fun event in Belgium. So if you're from the European, if you're located in Europe and from the Belgium corner of Europe or Netherlands, France, whatever, I can definitely recommend going to this event next year as well. Then, if you're like me, located in Germany, there's another recommendation where you can meet the Agile Hive team, and this is the SAFe Summit. I think they call it SAFe Summit Berlin, not SAFe Summit Europe. Yeah, but the SAFe Summit for all of us not located in the US which is taking place in Berlin this year, which is quite nice for us Germans, since travel time is not that long compared to, for example, Nashville last year in the US. So this will take place April 8th to 11th, and if you are around, just let us know, and we can meet up in person over there. Then there's another big news. Just I think last week we updated our feature comparison that compares Agile Hive DC version with the cloud version. Especially interesting for all of you who are planning a migration or who are in the middle of a migration. And if Agile Hive is one of the crucial parts of your migration project, you might want to take a look there and compare the feature parity level and see if all the crucial features already are available in cloud. And probably if cloud even can offer you more than the DC version for some parts. And it will also give a glimpse here and there to the roadmap of the product. So definitely worth checking it out if you have the time for it. As always, if you're in the middle of evaluating Agile Hive Cloud and you need more time than the initial 30-day free period granted by Atlassian, just let us know and reach out to our support team via our help desk. You can find the link here. And we can find a solution for you to extend that 30-day trial period. Then for the maybe most important or most exciting part, the product updates and the demo. And for this review, we have 5 new versions released since we met the last time here. I think there were some pretty big releases among those. We are still planning to release a new version every Tuesday, whenever there's stuff releasable or in a releasable state. You can find information on all of our releases in our changelog, siebert.biz/ahc-changelog. And we will keep posting there whenever a new version got released. So for the demo part, first a quick overview of everything that has been released over the last 4 or 5 weeks, which I'm very happy to announce that version 1.0 of our reports for Teams and Arts is live already. You've probably seen it in your site as well. It was available, I think, mid-February. And over the last few days, we added more features to that, simplify the workflows, improve the usability. For example, there's now an option to conveniently view all the milestones, objectives, or risks for a selected PI directly in the Jira Issue Navigator, which enables you to add more custom field information there, to export that, for example, as an XLS Excel file, and to just dig deeper into the information that you probably need. Also, you can now create new objectives and risks directly from the reports page, just similar to the milestones, where we enabled or we integrated that feature right from the beginning. And there's an important bug fix as well. So there was a change to one of the Jira Cloud APIs by Atlassian, and we needed to adapt to that. So in case you receive some unable to find the primary board of the project errors when navigating to a team or roadmap board, you might want to check whether or not there's an update available for Agile Hive Cloud in the Universal Plugin Manager of Jira. Since it was an API change, this was our bug fix version was considered a major release by Atlassian, so it requires a manual update by a Jira administrator. It won't be installed automatically on any of your sites. So please make sure that you are on the latest version and check the UPM of your Jira site. Now let's just switch over to our review site where we prepared some stuff for you. So I'm in my Agile Hive Cloud landing page, which is my organization, and I will just show you some of our report capabilities that we added. So here I navigated to a team level project, and you can already see that the report showed right up, and we have all the information that are essential. We have some placeholders for single report widgets that we will add over the next few days and weeks. I will give you more information on that later. But what can we see here? What information do we have? So first, we do have information on the current PI, the iteration that we are currently in, and also the time frame that PI has been planned for. We have an overview of our team members with their respective roles. And by just clicking on one of our members, I will be directed to their profile page. Also, I have the option to select another PI from the dropdown over here and just navigate back and forth in the history of my PIs. This works quite well. Then we have the PI progress metrics, and those information, all of this information is being captured and calculated automatically by Agile Hive, depending on the information that you have in your Jira issues in that project. So PI progress just displays the amount of time that has already that the PI is already running. Then we have the story points burned, which gives you an overview of the story points that have already been completed by your team in comparison to all the story points that have been planned for this PI. Business value delivered takes all of your objectives, of your team PI objectives that have been assigned with this specific PI, and gives you an overview of the actual business value versus the planned one. And since you can see here, there's a little warning icon. Some issues have no business value. And then you can check the team PI objective table down here to get more information. And you can see there's a warning icon right next to this specific objective. And it says the planned business value is missing. So this objective is currently not being reflected in our business value delivered overview. Because it might be misconfigured, there's information missing, and you want to double check on that. So if I want to fix this, I just open up this issue, and then I can see here the planned business value is missing, and I can just set it to whatever value works for me. So let's assume the plan was 8, and then I just reload our report. And as soon as I do that, we can now see that the business value delivered widget updated correctly. Also, everything's now fine. The warning icon is gone, and I have all my objectives properly set up to be reflected in the report. Then we have load versus cap, which gives an overview of the planned capacity or the estimated capacity of my team for the PI, based on the capacity planning that I provide for each of the iterations. So I just navigate to the planning board real quick here, and you can see that for this team, the estimated capacity is 21, 21, 18, and 25 story points. Agile Hive will automatically sum all of that up and transfer this over to the reports page, where you can now see, okay, I got 59 story points planned, 85 are potentially available for that PI. So I have a load versus cap, or the amount of planned story points is 69%. So I can add some more in case I need to, or the team can just go ahead and pull more stories from the backlog as soon as they finished work on everything that was planned. Our critical dependency overview widget is still missing. This will be added at a later point. So our current estimation is that it will be added over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So stay tuned here. Available at the moment or already is the velocity widget, which displays the average velocity of the last 5 iterations. This is also automatically being calculated by Agile Hive, and will give you an estimation of how much load or story points you should plan for a iteration in the upcoming PIs. And then we have our milestone overview widget here, and on the team level, we not only display milestones that are defined in the team project based on milestone issues, like this public review that we added for today. Also, our milestone widget will display milestones from the art project, since they might be also relevant for the team. For example, you have a big release coming up that is scheduled for a specific date, and all the teams in the art maybe contribute to that milestone or to that event. Then you can see this here as well. Also, start of PI and end of PI, because those are very important dates in the process of the team. What we'll also add over the next few weeks is iteration overview as well as the burnout chart. We are already actively working on both of those. So yeah, those will be added at a later time. We already talked about the team PI objectives. So if you have your team issues properly set up, set all of the custom fields like the planned business value, actual business value, and uncommitted objective information, then the objective will show up in the assigned PIs. For example, we do have 3 committed objectives here, and we have 1 uncommitted objective. For the total business value, for the total planned business value, we will reflect all of the committed objectives. For the business value delivered, the actual one, we will also include the uncommitted objectives, just as SAFe suggests in the theory. Then, last but not least, we have the team PI risks. And those basically work quite similar to the objectives. So you fill out all of the risk-specific custom fields, impact probability, residual impact, residual probability. Agile Hive will then automatically calculate the exposure and residual exposure values for you and display all of your risks in the report for all risks assigned with the specific PI. You can see here also that there's a little warning icon. I think going into detail here might be too much for this review, but let's just put it that way, that there's a technical limitation when it comes to calculating those exposure and residual exposure values. So we calculate them for the reports on the fly as long as you created this risk and it was never displayed in full screen for any of the user, because this is basically the event in Jira Cloud that triggers a recalculation of calculated fields. For this risk, no user has yet displayed this or opened this issue. So this information you can see here is not yet persisted, and we just displayed this as a little hint. You can resolve that by simply opening up that issue. Now you can see there's some calculation running in the back. And as soon as those values show up here, now Jira has persisted them. And if I reload the report, then the little warning icon should already be gone. So easy as that. And you can fix most of the issues you have with reports for yourself, actually. This is the team level. We also released some reports for the art level already. Quite similar in the general structure. You do have general information on the project and the PI up here. You have your art members with their respective roles as well. You can select the PI over here. You have PI progress matrix on the art level, which take into account all of the teams that are configured for that art project. So in this case, the art consists of 2 teams. So both of the teams' metrics will be included in the overall art metrics. For example, sorry, you can see here that our first team get a planned capacity or estimated capacity of 85 for that PI. The other team got 53. So, of course, the sum of that, 138, is the estimated capacity on the art level. Milestone overview basically works the same as with the team level. And then we do have some placeholders. We will add some more information here within the next few days. So, for example, the PI overview on the art level will be added presumably in the next 7 days. So this is coming pretty soon.
I just wanted to say about the milestone overview. I love that. And as I coach and stand in RTE and in other arts, the big thing that people are never prepared enough for is the coming PI planning. I'm always having to hound the product managers and product owners to get the backlog ready. So I love the countdown here for, and I would always, me personally, would always put in a PI planning date. It's not in this example data, but because Agile Hive doesn't have a way to exactly calculate that for you. But I wanted to highlight how important that milestone will be at the art level.
All right, I fixed this for you. So now we have our PI planning scheduled for 23rd of April.
Nice. That was easy.
So
Okay.
if I go over to the team report, you can see that this was automatically synchronized here. All right. Yeah, so as I previously mentioned on the art level, we will add some of those widgets in the next few days. And our current estimation is that until early April, mid of April, we will have all of them properly implemented and released out to you. So stay tuned. There will be a lot more coming here for the reports. All right. So this brings us to our short-term roadmap. As mentioned, we are still working on the reports for team and art level, add the missing widgets, where we just saw the placeholders in the live demo. Specifically, we are currently working on the RPI overview, as already mentioned. This will be released within the next 7 days. Team iteration overview is already in doing, and also the team burn-up chart, where we are gathering some more data on the performance or potential performance issues. We want to plan ahead and prevent them wherever possible, as early in the process as possible. So 2 questions out to you guys, either in the Google Meet right here, or if you're watching the YouTube video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below, or just reach out to us using any of the channels we introduced initially. And what's pretty important here, especially on the team level for the burn-up chart, when it comes to running calculations on your historic sprint data and providing burn-up charts for all of the PIs that you already completed in the past, comes down to 2 questions. And one of them is, how many active team level projects do you have configured in Agile Hive? This for one. And the other question is, what's your average issues planned per sprint? Just rough estimation. You can, of course, navigate to my organization in Agile Hive Cloud and just count your team level projects. But for the average issues planned per sprint, just give a rough estimation. Is it more like 10? Is it 30? Is it 100? This is pretty important data for us. So thanks everybody who participates here and helps us improve performance of burn-up charts before they're even released. Moving on to our second feature we have on the short-term roadmap, which are art planning boards. And this was requested heavily by a lot of customers already for the cloud version. We do have art planning boards in the DC version, and it's one of the most popular features, I would call it. For the cloud version, we did some concepts, we did some design drafts, and I want to introduce some of them to you right now. So everybody who's familiar with the data center version will probably recognize some elements already familiar. Everybody who's working with SAFe or who's familiar with the SAFe theory, the SAFe framework concepts might see some similarities here, but let's get into detail. So the art planning board basically looks a lot like the sprint planning board we have on the team level. You do have one PI at a time being displayed in the board. You do have the iterations visualized with their individual columns. And then we have one thing that we added here that might be useful in the future, which is the milestone lane. So instead of only displaying milestones as little icons here on top, it might be quite useful, especially when it comes to dependencies of your features, of your stories, to the milestone, to even visualize those dependencies, to have them in your big picture when it comes to when something needs to be completed. So we do have the milestones grouped by iteration based on their milestone date, based on their due date, basically. And you can even see dependencies that are pointing towards those milestones or emerging from them. Then we do have one lane for each of the teams that are configured for that art. And this is basically just similar to the data center version. Then we do have our art features visualized as cards in the art planning board. And when it comes to the exact location where those cards are being visualized, there will be one big difference compared to the data center version. So in the data center version, the team that finishes or that completes the latest planned story, I think that's correct. Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at Cindy. So the team with the latest planned or latest completed story will be the team where the art feature issue card will be visualized for the respective iteration. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So in the cloud, we thought, or we talked to some people, and we thought it might be a good idea to, I changed the order here. Let's just skip this slide for now. So we thought it might be a good idea to define an owning team for each of the art issues, because not necessarily the team that owns an art level issue is the one that completes the latest story for that. So we will introduce a concept called the owning team, and you can explicitly set a team that owns an art issue, and that art issue will then be displayed in the team's respective swim lane in the art planning board. It will also be possible in the art planning board to display dependent issues that are probably located on the team level, since team level issues might be a potential blocker for completion of some of your art level issues. So you will have that being visualized in the art planning board as well. And also, I'm skipping back and forth, there will be filtering options for the art planning board to enable you to focus on that subset of information that is relevant in the respective situation that you're in. So it will be possible to either filter by team or to filter all the board to one specific art level issue and all of its dependencies. Then we have one more thing that we will probably not in the first version introduce for the art planning board in cloud, but maybe at a later time, which we call a focus mode or a highlight mode. And this will enable you to highlight one art issue with all of its dependencies in the context of the big picture. So you can use this either on the plain art planning board, or you can pre-filter the information displayed in the art planning board, like use a team filter, for example, or some JQL filter, and only work with a subset of all the information displayed in the art planning board, and then use the highlight mode, for example, in a stand-up or sync situation to focus on specific issues that need your attention at the moment. Then coming back to our short-term roadmap, the last thing that we are currently working on, or one more thing that we are currently working on, is a migration path from data center to cloud, or also server to cloud, in case you are still on the server deployment of Jira and Agile Hive. So we are currently working on migrating specific Agile Hive specific custom fields over to cloud. If we take a look at our migration timeline, so as of now, we do have a first version of our Agile Hive Helper app available. This is a private app, so in case you are in a migration process and want to do a sandbox migration, a dry run, please reach out to us so we can provide you with that Helper app that will then migrate over all of the Agile Hive data. At the moment, this app is capable of migrating issue hierarchy link data. We are currently working on extending that app to be also capable of migrating Agile Hive custom field data. And we will also, in the next versions, work on migrating PI and iteration data, as well as the project hierarchy. Also, there's a subpage in our knowledge base available for you. So if you have any questions, just refer to that page or reach out to us personally. And for closing this review, I will present you with our updated roadmap. So as of today, we are still working on the reports for team and arts. Also, the art planning board concept that I just showed you. In parallel, we are working on our flow metrics concept. So this is still in progress. Might take us some more days, I think, but we are making good progress. And probably for the next review, we can give you an update there. At the same time, we are working on cross-art dependencies in the concept phase. Maybe also something that we can show in the next review. And yeah, already mentioned migration path, as well as usability and performance improvements, even with features that are not yet released, like the burn-up chart. In case you have any feedback for us, feel free to reach out at any time. And I think, yeah, that's it for today. Mark your calendars. Next review will be on April 4th. And yeah, thank you for joining. In case you have any questions, leave a comment below or just ask in the Q&A session following right up. Thank you.